Say what is going on, guys? I'm Spawntrap bringing you a video on Call of Duty Ghosts. Very unconventional for me. This isn't actually my own Call of Duty Ghosts gameplay. This is some over a year old gameplay from Sacred Clan, a team that I used to be on, and a team that personally meant a lot to me. Now this is going to be some of Smoochie, some of Quit, and some of Hunter's gameplay, but nonetheless, let's get right into the commentary. Anyhow, I was thinking the other day about the significance of Call of Duty Ghosts, a game that is so often so passed over, but in fact, in 5 years, I think we'll be looking at Call of Duty Ghosts as like the greatest Call of Duty game ever. And the reason why I say that is, if you really do think about it, in 5 years, odds are good you will not be playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Even if you want to play Call of Duty Black Ops 2, even if, you know, all the other Call of Duty games that come out after Black Ops 3 are terrible and they all have exo movement in, and you just want to play a regular Call of Duty game, no exo movement, you probably can't play Black Ops 2. And the reason is the PSN and the Xbox Live servers for last gen consoles will probably be shut down. We're not going to be seeing any sort of backwards compatibility to the next gen consoles of the older Call of Duty games unless they're released in some sort of collection type fashion. So because of that, it seems to me like Call of Duty Ghosts is very peculiar. It's interesting because it's the only game that we will likely see on next gen console that will not have some form of exo movement or some sort of overly futuristic fashion to it. So if you want to play some classic search and destroy, no jumping around, the only game you're going to be able to do it on is Call of Duty Ghosts, because it's the only next gen Call of Duty game to not have exo movement. And I just can't picture Activision going forward and taking out any sort of exo movement. I feel like they've kind of beat that down to their franchise. Maybe they decided they didn't want to compete with Counter-Strike. They wanted to compete with something like Titanfall. And it's pretty easy to compete against Titanfall, in my opinion, when they're only releasing a game every couple years because they don't have 3 studios working on it. And it's really hard to compete against Counter-Strike, even though Global Offense has been out for so long. It's a game that has a lot of staying power, a lot of depth, and it's just hard for Call of Duty to compete against that. So I have no idea why they're going to continue to do exo movement. I think a lot of people don't like it. Obviously, there's classic playlists in Advanced Warfare, but nobody really played them, and it just seemed awkward. The maps didn't really fit the way they should because the maps were built for exo movement, and when they're built for that, and you have to go up an excessive number of ladders just to move around the map in the classic game modes, it's just a little strange to me, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I think that odds are good in 5 years. We won't say that, you know, Call of Duty Ghosts was an amazing game, but we'll want to play it because it is really, in a lot of ways, potentially the last of its kind. Now, you'll probably also be able to go to GameStop and pick it up for something like $5 because nobody wants it. I've seen numerous people, actually saw a video from Vector the other day where he threw his copy away because, you know, Black Ops 3 is coming out. Get the hype on, people. I actually do own a disc copy of Call of Duty Ghosts, which is kind of shocking, and maybe eventually one day that disc will become scratched, and then who knows what will happen. But I have hardly played it. Then again, down the road, I might look back on it, and I might say, you know, that's the game I want to play, because I can't play the classic Call of Duties anymore without, like, having to put a whole bunch of my friends together in one room, hook our systems up, and do, like, a LAN party. But anyways, guys, that's my opinion on Call of Duty Ghosts. We are days away from the release of Black Ops 3, and I simply cannot wait for it. I'm as excited as you guys are. I'm very ecstatic to see how this thing turns out. I think it's going to be an amazing game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Nonetheless, though, it's not going to be your regular Call of Duty game. It's still going to have those exo movements in, but it was toned down a little bit. I think that was a smart decision. Anyways, I'm Spawntrap, and I'm going to get the heck out of here. I will see you in the next video.